all doing? Guys, it's September, just like that. How did that happen? It is awesome to see you guys online. Naomi's here, Rachel's here, Olivia and Nyla are here, Hannah and Sarah are here, Emily's here, Ethan and Manasseh are here, the Weir family's here, Josiah, Ariana, and Aaliyah, Levin and Ruben are here. Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to see you guys. Guys, Isaiah's here too. Good morning, Isaiah. It's a little bit chilly out there today. I was walking my dog this morning, and I'm pretty sure I saw frost on the grass. And I was like, wow, this happens so fast. Just the other day, it was summer, and now it feels like it's fall. It's crazy. Finley and Cormac are here. Hey, guys. Isolate and Roman are here. Hey, guys. So happy that you guys are joining us, and you're on here with me this morning. It's awesome. And we are in a new month. Oh, Kaylin's here too. Hey, Kaylin. We're in a new month, which means we are learning about something completely new this month. And this one's really cool. We're actually learning about friendship and how we are better together. And we kind of talked a lot about that in August, because we were talking about how God created us to be creative. And we all have different all have different creative minds, and when we put them together, we can do stuff that's super awesome. But this month, we're learning about actual friendship and what that means, how to be a good friend, how to make good friends, and how we are better, ultimately, how we're all better together. We're better with 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 friends and people that are close to us. Let's see who else is here. Zahara and Zion are here. Hi, guys. Good morning. So the theme this month is this: block party. Everybody's invited, not just a couple people, but everyone's invited to this party. And it's really cool that we're learning about this, because I think that this is such a great way for us to start our school season. I was going to say our school year, but yeah, I guess it's school year for us to start. Now, I know some of us aren't going back and we're staying at home and we're doing school at home, and some of us are going back. But the cool thing is that even online, we can make friends and we can be friends. We can be friendly. We can be kind. We don't only have to do it in the classroom. We can do it online too. So let's take a look at our bottom line together. Here it is. Hold on. Just going to get it here. Bloop, 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 bloop. So block party, everybody's invited. And then this is our bottom line: friendship, using your words and actions to show others you care. And this is so big. And you know what? It's almost more important now when we're online and we're learning online and we're doing things through the computer. It's almost more important that we're using our words and our actions, like maybe letting someone else take a turn, to show people that we care and that we're a good friend. So we're going to continue to learn about this this month. And yeah, have a great time. Oh, I see Colin and Logan and Troy are here. Colin, Logan, and Troy, you guys were the winners last week, and I was so busy, it completely slipped my mind. I still have to get you guys your prize, and I still have to get Victory her prize. And I'm not sure if Ethan and Manasseh were on last week. I don't think that they were, but Ethan and Manasseh, if you guys are watching, Josiah and Ariana and Aaliyah won a prize 2 weeks ago, but they decided that they actually wanted to give their prize away to you guys, to Ethan and Manasseh and Gracie. So you guys are going to get a prize. Because the Weirs, Josiah and Ariana and Aaliyah, decided that they wanted to give it to you guys, which was so kind and so nice of them. So Ethan and Manasseh and Gracie too, you guys are getting a prize too. So I'm going to make sure that as soon as this is done, I'm going to email the Varvases, Ethan and Manasseh, and Victory, and you guys are going to let me know what you guys want for your prizes. Okay, awesome. Let's take a look at our memory verse for this month. Let's see, where is it here? Perfect. Here it is. And if you guys are good readers, if you guys can read, I'll put myself here. If you guys are good readers, I want you guys to try and read this with me, okay? So it says this: a friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. And this memory verse is from Proverbs 17, verse 17, nerve. That's right. Let's read it one more time. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Proverbs 17, nerve. That's right. So, guys, this is really cool. It tells us that a friend is there, not sometimes, not just when they want to be, but they're there for us all the time. And that they want to be there, and they're there when trouble comes, and they can help us when trouble does come, which is really, really awesome. So we're going to keep learning this month about friendships. We're going to learn really cool stories about friendships in the Bible, but then we're also going to learn about some scriptures that teach us about friendship and how we can apply it in our own lives. Cool? Cool. All right, guys, what time is it? Okay, we're making good time. We're going to do the drawing contest again. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to put my email in here. And onechurch.to. There we go. There's my email, so you guys can get it ready. You guys can get that ready there. All right. And then in a second, I am going to tell you guys what you're going to draw. So you need a piece of paper. And we're going to do only one drawing today, okay? Only one. Because we always run out of time, and that's the problem. We run out of time because we're having so much fun drawing. So we're only going to do one drawing today, and there's only going to be one winner, okay? Just kidding. Okay, so you need a piece of paper, and you need a writing utensil, a marker or a pencil or whatever you have. Now, Colin, Logan, and Troy, and Victory, you guys can't win today, okay? So you guys can still participate. You guys can still send your drawings in, but we're going to give an opportunity for somebody else to win today, okay? So I'm going to get my phone out here, and the thing that we're going to draw, we're all going to draw it together, and you're going to have a minute to draw this thing. Okay. Now everybody's picture is going to look different because this is something that's unique to you. Everybody's going to have a little bit of a different drawing, but that's okay. So you guys I'm going to set a timer on my phone. Let me put a timer up right here. Oh, that's a calculator. Silly me. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. 1 minute timer. Perfect. You guys are going to draw. Are you ready? Are you set? I want you guys to draw your perfect party. Your perfect party. It could be a birthday party, or it could just be a party with all your friends. Okay, your perfect party. Ready and go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Pastor O'Shea's here. He's like, what is going on? I don't think you guys will know what that theme song's from. I don't think you guys will know. Okay, 15 seconds. Hurry. And once you have a minute to do it. You don't have to send it in to me right away. So just take your time, and everybody you have a minute to draw it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, pencils down. Pencils down. All right, now I'm going to give you another minute to send it in. And if you have my email, you have it there, okay? So let me bring up my thing and sending your artwork now. Send it in. Send it in, 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 send it in. I got a winner, chicken dinner, chicken dinner. Guys, the winner of this week's drawing competition, drum roll, please. Ruben and Levin, you are the winners. You are the winner, winner, chicken dinner, winner, chicken dinner. Great job, guys. You guys did it. You guys are super fast. And I'll tell you who was first and second, although we're only going to have one winner today. It was Hannah. Hannah was next. And Victory, who was next after that. It was Aaliyah's drawing. And Zahara and Zion were after that. So you guys were super fast. Great job. So Ruben and Levin, you guys were super, super quick. And you guys are the winners this week. And you guys won 2 weeks ago too. So awesome job. Guys, thanks so much for participating. This is a lot of fun. And the more people that participate, the more chances that you have of winning, right? Awesome. Good job. So Levin and Ruben, you guys are going to get a prize today too. I'll make sure to send you guys an email, your parents an email, and we'll pick your prize too. So we got a lot of winners. That's awesome. All right, guys. So let's really quickly, we're going to go over the house rules. We're going to make sure that the house rules basically are our chat room. So we want to make sure that we're being respectful in our chat room. And right now we're going to start watching our Bible story. And when we do that, we have to be respectful. And one way that we can be respectful is not being distracting in the chat room. So just like as if you were here with me in the room, in the loft, when we're watching the story, we always try to not be distracting to people around us and try and focus on the Bible story and what we're being taught, right? So the same thing goes for us online, okay? So I'm going to ask that you guys, if you have a question or if something doesn't really make sense in the video and you're like, I don't get it, then you guys can write your question or your comment in the chat. But we're not going to write emojis, or we're not going to write, hey, I ate ice cream on Friday. We've got lots of time for that, but not while we're watching the story, okay? All right, so I'm going to take it over to the story, and then we're going to go through some questions at the end, okay? All right, I'll see you soon.
Hey, everybody! It's Haley here, and I love parties. Don't you just love parties? I love all kinds of parties. Birthday parties. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Haley. Happy birthday to me. And who doesn't love a good block party? Feedback toss. Sorry. I could use some lessons, which is why friendship is so important. Friendship is using your words and actions to show others you care. It's kind of hard to have a party without friends. And honestly, it's hard to even plan a party without friends. You need a tall friend to hang the lights. You need a friend who can bake. And if you got a friend who's giving beanbag toss lessons, tell them to give me a call. The point is, we need friends, and friends need us. And in today's story, we're going to talk about what makes a friend a friend. That sounds like fun! It makes me want to party!
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 through 12.
The writer of Ecclesiastes tells us 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. Suppose either of them falls down, then the one can help the other one up. But suppose a person falls down and doesn't have anyone to help them up. Then feel sorry for that person. One person could be overpowered, but 2 people can stand up for themselves. And a rope made with 3 cords isn't easily broken. Let's see how this might play out in someone's life today. Jackson slid into the small school theater and took a seat in the back row and waited for Mr. Ray, the music and arts teacher. It looked like there was only one other kid who showed up to build the set for the 5th grade production of Charlotte's Web, Amal from Mrs. Wiseman's class.
Hey, Hi.
The two boys sat there in awkward silence until Mr. Ray showed up.
Ah, my set team. Fantastic. You guys know each other?
Kinda.
Different classes.
Well, you're going to get to spend a lot of time together in the next 2 weeks as we build this set and get it painted. You guys got any experience with power tools?
Jackson could see Amal shift nervously in his seat.
No, I don't want to go on stage. Miss Wiseman said I could do this instead.
Don't worry, I'll teach you what you need to know. How about you, Jackson?
I'm pretty good with a hammer, and I didn't want to wear some silly animal costume.
The two boys basically ignored each other as Mr. Ray showed them how to measure each piece of lumber for him to cut, and then he helped them lay out the pieces in a large frame.
Now, this'll be one of the wall flats for the backdrop. We'll paint it as part of the barn. Amal, you want a hammer in these nails?
I guess.
I'll hold it more like this. Don't worry, you'll get it.
I'll do this side.
Jackson nailed together the entire flat while Amal still struggled with one corner.
What a klutz.
But it was a different story the next day when they started to paint.
This flat is part of our barn wall. I want you guys to paint a couple of chickens right there.
Amal grabbed a brush right away.
Oh, do you want them to look like real chickens or like cartoons?
Just give them your own personal spin.
Amal got to work right away, creating an entire palette of colors while Jackson was still trying to figure out which brush to pick.
Now, I've got to run down to the art room. Amal, why don't you show Jackson how to get started?
I don't really...
Mr. Ray smiled at them both.
He needs a hand. I think you guys will make a great team.
Mr. Ray hurried out. Jackson and Amal avoided each other's eyes.
Well, I'll sketch an outline for the chickens.
What do I do?
Just, fill it in.
I'm not really an artist.
Jackson dipped his brush randomly in the blue paint and frowned at Amal's outline.
Just have fun with it.
Jackson swiped the blue brush, outlining a wing.
I've never seen a blue chicken.
Oh.
It's great. It'll stand out.
Oh. Thanks.
By the time Mr. Ray returned, Jackson was surprised to discover that he and Amal had already painted 5 brilliant hued chickens. Mr. Ray grinned.
I've never seen a more flamboyant flock.
Jackson held out his fist to Amal, and Amal, surprised, gave him a fist bump.
Yep, see you boys tomorrow.
The next day, Amal showed up with a bruised finger on his left hand.
I can still paint with my right.
What happened?
Mr. Kunkel keeps putting me in as goalie during PE, and then I mess it up, and everyone on the team gets mad at me.
Do you stay on your toes? Keep your eye on the ball?
No. I just panic when the ball comes at me.
Look, I can show you some tips later in the parking lot, before my mom comes.
Really? That would be great.
And Jackson turned out to be a pretty good teacher because Amal managed to get 2 blocks during PE the next day. And when Jackson showed up to paint sets, stressed out by a math test, Amal grabbed his textbook.
Fractions?
I see all these weird numbers and I freeze up.
You just have to break it down like this.
With Amal's help, Jackson managed to stay calm during his test the next day. And by the middle of the next week, they had completed the entire backdrop for Charlotte's Web.
Well done. I knew you two would make a great team.
Amal's pretty okay.
Jackson's not too terrible.
Look, I know you guys are really different from each other, but it's boring if all your friends are just like you.
Together, they started gathering wood scraps and wiping off brushes.
Seriously, one of the wisest men to ever live pointed this out. Solomon.
Solomon?
Yep. He's this king in the Bible. He was a builder and an artist and super rich too. But for all the things he had, you know what he valued most? Friendship. He says it like this: 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do.
On point.
Yeah.
Amal held out his fist, and Jackson tapped it with his own. Maybe Solomon and Mr. Ray were onto something.
Okay, here are 4 things you can learn from those verses in the book of Ecclesiastes. Number 1, friends get more done when they work together, which makes a whole lot of sense. Planning a party goes a lot faster when I've got someone to help me out, which brings me to number 2, friends help each other. A true friend doesn't just sit back and watch when it's obvious you need a hand. Little help here. Wow! Number 3, Friends stand up for each other. You better not be messing with one of my friends. I will totally fight you. Unless, you're bigger than me, then I will not fight you. In which case, I will totally reprimand you with some carefully planned stern words. Just don't mess with my friends, okay? And number 4, friends help you trust God. You may have a lot of different friends in your life, but a true friend, one that lasts, is the kind that helps you make wise choices. The kind of friend you can talk to about what you believe honestly, and who can help your faith in Jesus grow. So here's the one thing to remember today. Choose your friends carefully. I think you should try to be a friend to everybody, whether it's a friend you choose or not. But when you're deciding who to spend most of your time with, you should choose carefully. Ask yourself, is my friend helpful? Would they stand up for me? Do they help me trust God more? And while you're at it, ask yourself this, am I a helpful friend? Would I stand up for others and help people trust God more? When you want to find good friends, one of the best things you can do is to be a good friend. And never forget that Jesus is your ultimate friend. He is always there for you, no matter what. So, be on the lookout for good friends this week. When you choose wisely, you can't miss.
Awesome. Wasn't that such a great story? And we get to see how Jackson and Amal were 2 very different people. And they had 2 very different talents. So Jackson was really, really good at using a hammer and nailing things up. And he was also really good at playing hockey. And Amal was awesome at painting and really, really good at math. And the two boys weren't really friends. They didn't really hang out outside of having to build this set for the school play. But when they came together and they realized that they could help one another with things that they weren't really strong at, they became closer friends. And they realized, he's not bad. Just because he's different than me, just because we have different interests and different things that we both like, doesn't mean that we can't be friends. And we saw that when they merged together, when they were together, they were actually better. Amal got better at playing hockey, and Jackson got better at math. And that was awesome because of the help that they got from those friends. And our bottom line today is this. Choose your friends carefully. This is really important. And sometimes this is really, really hard to choose our friends carefully. So I've got a couple questions here. Now I want you guys to discuss them with your parents if your parents are around, and your parents can maybe type in your answers for me, okay? Our first question is this. What makes somebody a good friend? What makes somebody a good friend to you? We had a couple of examples here that what makes someone a good friend, but what would you say? What makes somebody a good friend for you? You guys can write in your answers. Got my little hat on. Look like. If they help you and are kind. The Weir family says if they help you and they're kind. That's really good. Yeah. Helping is important because some friends are friends at school, or maybe they're friends sometimes, but when you need help, maybe they're not around that often, and that can sometimes be hard. A friend who shares well. Yeah, that's right, Ruben. Somebody who shares well and isn't always holding on to things, but then they're willing to share with you. Someone who loves me. Yeah, Finley and Cormac say somebody who loves me. Someone who is good and fun. Yes, that's right, Dylan. Someone who stands up for you. That's so big. Somebody that will stand up for you and make sure that you're not, that someone else isn't hurting your feelings or hurting you, right? Isaiah said, a good friend checks on me when I'm upset. Yeah, that's really important. Somebody who comes to you and checks if you're okay, if you're crying, or if you've gotten really frustrated in class, they come over and they say, are you okay? And someone who stands up for you is nice. Victory says somebody who's nice. A friend who listens and helps me. Listening is a big one. That's a really good one. Someone who listens and helps me. Sometimes I want to talk to my friends, and sometimes I want to tell them what's happening, but sometimes they're too distracted and they're not really listening to me. But I know that my really, really good friends will sit down and they'll listen, and they'll just let me talk and they'll listen to me. So that does make a really good friend. Someone who cares about me. These are all amazing answers, guys. Really good. Now here's the second question, okay? It's a little bit long, but let me read the whole thing, okay? When do we sometimes put up with bad friends or choose friends who sometimes aren't very nice to us? So when do we sometimes put up with friends that aren't very nice to us? For example, when I was in school, there was a girl and she had all the friends. She was very, very popular. So everybody wanted to hang out with her. And I wanted to hang out with her. I really wanted her to be my friend. So I did everything that I could to be her friend. And you know what? It turned out she wasn't a very nice friend. She wasn't very kind and she didn't listen to me. And when I was upset, she didn't care. And so it was really hard because I wanted to be her friend because everybody was her friend and she was so, so cool and awesome, but she wasn't very kind. So I put up with her not being kind and being mean to me when I really shouldn't have. I should have just found a friend who was nicer to me. So that's one example of when I put up with a friend who wasn't very nice. Well, I had friends like that too. Yeah, sometimes we have friends in our lives or at school that aren't nice to us, and we put up with them being mean or hurtful because we want their friendship and we want to hold on to it so badly, but they're not kind and they're not nice and they're not loving and they don't check on me if I'm upset. So sometimes I think to myself, why am I putting up with them? Because we have some of those same friends. Yeah, she's not my friend anymore. I had a friend that betrayed me. Yeah. And the thing is, sometimes, yeah, like you said, like we hold on to those friends if they're sometimes popular or if everybody likes them. Sometimes we want to like them too, or if they have a whole bunch of cool toys, or they come to school and they always have really cool outfits on, or they have the best technology and they have a new cell phone and you're like, whoa, that person's so cool. They got the newest Jordans and you're like, wow, that person's so cool. But in reality, their personality is not kind and they're not very nice, right? Okay, let's talk about the third question. What makes choosing a good friend so difficult? What makes choosing a good friend so difficult or so hard? Why is it hard for us to choose good friends sometimes? Ruben says, you don't always know they're going to do bad stuff. Yeah, that's a really, really good answer, Ruben. Sometimes when you make a friend, you don't really know how they're going to be later on. And sometimes they make bad choices and you say, hey, I thought that you were a good friend and I thought that you were here and you were going to care for people around us and you're going to love people. But then they start making bad choices and not following instructions or not following the teacher. And that's a really good answer, Ruben, because sometimes we don't know. And then we're friends with them and then we find out later on that they're not very kind or they're not very loving, right? The Weirs say, you can never see a person's heart. Wow. They may act like a friend, but they aren't really. Guys, that is very powerful. You can't see a person's heart. You can't see what they're like on the inside. So maybe they're nice for a second, but then they're not nice after that. That's really true. That's very powerful, guys. Isaiah said, because you're afraid the person will act mean in a mean way. Yeah. If you're afraid that they're going to bully you, sometimes you're just their friend or you're nice to them because you don't want them to hurt you and you don't want them to be mean to you, right? That's a really good one, Isaiah. Find things that you have in common. You can find things that you have in common. Yeah. That's good. Our daddy always tells us that. Guys, that's very true. I think that's very powerful. You can't see somebody's heart. So sometimes you think you're making the right decision in a friendship and you think that that's the right person to be friends with, but then they turn out to not be nice, right? Okay, and our last question, what kind of friend are you? What kind of friend are you? And what kind of friend do you want to be? So what kind of friend are you? Are you a friend that's kind and loving? And if you're not, then you can say, I want to be. I'm working at it. I want to be someone who's loving and kind and careful and listening, and you can work on it, right? We can all work on those things. So tell us, what kind of friend are you? And then we've got to run because Pastor O'Shea needs to get in here. So let me know, what kind of friend are you? Let's see. I always stand up for my friends. That's great. Levin wants to be loving. Ruben says he's sometimes loving, sometimes he's not. And that's okay. Sometimes we have to work on it, but we can always ask Jesus to help us, right? The Weirs say we are kind, giving, and loving, but we can always do better. Yeah. The viruses say fun to be with. They're fun to be with. That's awesome. Great. Okay, guys, I'm going to pray really quickly, and then we're going to have to go on our way. But this was an awesome conversation, and I love talking to you guys about this, and I love that we're all working towards being a better person and being a better friend. And we can always do a little bit better, right? We can always be a little bit more loving and a little bit more patient and kind, right? Awesome. Okay, let's pray. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, God, I thank you for this lesson about Jackson and Amal, God, and how they were both different people. And normally they wouldn't hang out with one another, but God, you brought them together. And you brought them together to show that they both had strengths, and together they were better, God. And Father, I just thank you for giving us Jesus. Jesus is the perfect example of what a friend should be. He always listened. He was always kind. He was always loving. And we can look towards Jesus and remember that we can work hard and be like Jesus, God, and be more and more like him in our life, God. And we will always slip, and we won't always be loving, and we won't always be kind. But God, it's important that we recognize that we're not always kind and not always loving, and that we recognize who always is, and that's Jesus. So Lord, I pray that we always look towards Jesus and remember that he is a perfect example of what a true friend is. Thank you for loving us, God, and thank you for sending your son, Jesus, to be our friend forever. We pray all these things in your wonderful name. And all God's children said, amen. Okay, guys, I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Okay.
I want to be the judge.